Tanwar.
Yes, we have people from all corners of the country. In fact, even in our previous webinars, we've gotten a lot of requests from school owners, principals, even teachers, who've really wanted to better understand how to run digital marketing campaigns to for a variety of reasons to better engage parents, to boost their school brand, to attract more parent audiences. In fact, I think a lot of schools want to talk to students also, and a lot of students are on all kinds of digital platforms, Facebook, Instagram. The younger audience is more on Instagram. So
Right, right.
we'll begin in exactly 3 minutes. Uh, Sheetal ma'am, any questions, any observations or requests that you have, I request you to please type into our chat window. Mahipal Singh ji, thank you for joining us. Any questions, please type in the chat window. Please do introduce yourselves. I'm not able to see the chat window, or am I?
I
Oh,
can
I
see
am.
that.
I am. Yeah. So,
Okay.
any questions, please do type your questions in the chat window, or you could type it in the Q&A box. We will have a formal Q&A session with Vivek towards the end of the webinar. But in the meantime, any questions, कोई भी सवाल आपके दिमाग में है कि फेसबुक मार्केटिंग के बारे में ये जानना है, ये समझना है, how do I attract parents? Please feel free to type them in. KBS Academy Kerala, V. Raghav V is joining us from Chennai, from Pune, from Bangalore. Vivek, you've got audiences from everywhere.
That's it's actually all India. I mean, I'm from Tripura to north to south,
Yes, yes.
Nagpur, central. Great. Shall we? We
Let's
could
begin.
we could
Yes.
start if you want to. I think.
Just give me a moment. Over to you, Vivek. I'm sorry, before I hand over to Vivek, I just want to introduce him very quickly. Vivek was very modest. He said, please don't do a grand introduction for me. So I'm just going to introduce Vivek as someone who has years and years of experience in digital marketing, is a digital marketing expert who's worked across sectors, including school edtech. We're very delighted to have him with us today. Vivek, thank you for making the time, and over to you.
Thank you, Shalini. Uh, Hello, good evening to everyone from different parts of the country. We have a lot to cover. बहुत कुछ है देखने के लिए. So we'll try and get straight away into some content. But broadly, while we get into the specifics, सबको I think everyone's aware the fact that आप लोग आए हो. You're aware that Facebook, Meta, the parent company, therefore, and through that Facebook and Instagram give us opportunities to reach or talk to parents. And more importantly, we know two, three things. A, that someone that we want to talk to is actually a parent. So Facebook, Meta have phenomenal ways of enriching their information about you and I when we spend time on Meta and Facebook platforms. And the second part is हम हमारे vicinity में within our vicinity how do we reach out to them, right? So how do we actually get those locations and areas? क्या क्या possible है, क्या possible नहीं है? We'll see that today in the next few minutes. So without further ado, let's start into. We'll cover these 5 6 topics. Why use meta ads? What kind of ads do you run? Ads बनाते कैसे हैं? I'll actually take all of you through the setup for running a campaign so that by the end of this session, my belief is आप लोग में से ज्यादातर लोग हैं, most of you will be able to say, hey, I can run my school's ad better now if I'm already running, or if I'm not running, I will do that tomorrow, right? So given this, admission ज्यादा ज्यादा लाने. So let's take कि आपको out of this session You want to learn how do I get parent inquiry, कि मुझे नाम फोन नंबर मिल जाए, उन्हें उनका बच्चे कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ता है वो पता चल जाए, so that I come to know what grade they are in, and then when I call back, so I get their phone number and I can call back to them and speak to them, right? Facebook will help me capture their interest. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. uh, Maipal, hopefully we will cover what you are looking for. Let's go through this. Is my voice clearer now? The
I
voice
can
is
hear you
cracking.
perfectly well.
ओके, ठीक है मैडम, आप लोकल जहां पर हो आप अपना नेटवर्क एक बार चेक कर लीजिए, इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग माय वॉइस अ लिटिल ब्रेकिंग, बट आई विल मूव. सो व्हाई यूज मेटा एड्स to drive admission, right? Targeted advertising, that's the biggest value of digital ads. आप आप टारगेट कर सकते हो, मतलब क्या, पेरेंट को पता कर सकते हो कि पेरेंट है, और सिर्फ पेरेंट है नहीं, बच्चे का पेरेंट है, या 10 साल के बच्चे का पेरेंट है, या 20 साल के बच्चे का पेरेंट है, वो भी पता कर सकते हो. एंड आई विल शो यू कि क्या क्या पता चलता है, राइट? कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव तरीका है, आपको एड चलाने के वक्त पता चल जाएगा कि वो कितना व्हाट्स गोइंग टू बी योर बजट, आप कितना दिन का बजट इसको देना है, और कितने पैसे खर्च करने हैं, और आपको कितनी लीड्स मिल सकती है. कभी कभी लीड्स कैन बी लिटिल हायर और लोअर देन व्हाट यू एक्सपेक्ट, बट आपको एक रेंज मिल जाएगी, दिन में 15 से 20 लीड मिलेंगी या 5 से 10 लीड मिलेंगी. It doesn't mean that every lead that you get is going to be a ready parent, but you'll have to convince the parent afterwards to to um, to come and meet you in your school. I'll be speaking in both languages so that most of us can understand. Uh, but apart from that, please bear with both the languages. Okay, let's proceed.
Sure. So before we proceed, we just want to do a quick check-in with the audience, with everybody who's joined us actually.
Mhm.
We'd like to understand how many of our school owners on this webinar are actually using Facebook. Do you have a Facebook page for your school? Requesting everybody to please participate. We really want to know how active you are on social media. So far, 88% have said they have a Facebook page.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
In the age of AI, and I think yesterday we had a DeepSeek announcement.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was
That
a
was a
big
big
one. I would be very surprised if we had more people say we don't have a Facebook page.
one.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Um, all
Yes.
right, Tanisha, ma'am, that'll be great. You must, if you, I'm sure you have all the help that you need. And let's hope this comes in handy when you actually create your page. Right. So basically, a meta campaign or Facebook campaign, जिसको हम पहले आजकल मेटा बोलते हैं, but earlier we used to call it Facebook, so they're interchangeable. Facebook campaign fundamentally needs these 5 key constituents or components. First is your campaign goal. So what is a goal? It means what do you want to get out of this campaign? Do you want more people to come see your school's website? Or you want to say, I want to just grow my business, which means I want more leads. And I will call them and call them to my school afterwards. I'll call them on phone and I'll get them to visit my school. Or it could be just I want to create more chats on my Facebook Messenger, etc. etc. But I think the most relevant for most of you would be to generate leads. So let's look at how to actually generate leads. That's the first part. You say I want to generate leads. Okay. Next, Facebook asks you, how do you want to, what are the formats you want to reach out? Formats typically means, do you want to have a video? Do you want to have a static creative? You want to have carousels, right? Which is multiple static creators one after the other. How do you want to reach? What format do you want to reach? Third is, where do you want to reach? When I say where, I mean you see ads when you're watching your Instagram feed, you see ads when you are on stories, you see ads when you're opening Instagram or Facebook on your website, and there are ads which are on the right side of the page, a bunch of places. where ads come up, right? Uh, the fourth part is who do you want to reach out to? So first we have cleared goal, we have cleared how you want to reach out. Third is where do you want to reach out? And fourth is who do you want to reach to? So if we are school owners, we'll say I want to reach out to parents or prospective parents or parents with toddlers, or not toddlers, but parents with children who are more than 5 years or 6 years old, right? Ideally. And we want to reach out to parents who are in 3 kilometer radius of sector 29, if I'm in Noida, for example, right? Um, or if whichever part of the country you are in. So those are the sharp targeting options that one needs to keep in mind. Bear in mind that the sharper you become in your targeting, I just want 35-year-old parents so that the children are about 8, 10 years old or 10, 12 years old so that they will join my school. Now, the sharper you get, fewer people are available on the internet. So you have to constantly balance how wide or how sharp you want to go in your targeting. Very often we think of targeting, I just want to be so sharp that I will not spend anywhere here or there. But if you keep it sharp, the platforms are not able to run the ads effectively, and then you will not see results. So, always about constantly testing. Okay, and the last part is once you do all this, you have to see your results and see how and optimize that. If is your ads working fine? If you're running more than one creative, are they looking good, etc. or not? So let's quickly skim through some of the next slides, Charlie, and then we'll actually spend some time doing this ourselves. Okay, so first part is goals. I spoke about it. This it gives you a screen which gives you different options. You can boost a post, you can promote your page. But the most important goal that you must try first is have a lead, at least, especially in the school and tech space. All right, let's move ahead. There are meta ad formats. Now, speaking about some of the ads, take a look at some of these ads which lead is been running for some time now, right? So there is some text at the top, be the first school in your area. Then there's an image. Image has certain copy on it, and then there is a bottom part of the creative which says learn more. It's called a CTA or a call to action. Okay. So these are typical components of an image ad. It's static, as the name suggests. There are certain requirements around what is the height and width and the aspect ratio. Typically, when you upload a file, Facebook interface tells you fairly well. Okay, let's move. Then this is a video ad, right? You must have seen a video ad when you're scrolling. Video ads are more engaging, right? Unlike static ads. So you can have a very long video, you can have a short video. अब आपको सोचना है कि how can you use this to talk about your school? So some schools who might have fantastic internal facilities or playgrounds can take a video and show how good the school is. Can have certain children come in and talk about what they've been learning in their extracurricular, co-curricular activities. Some of the toppers can come and say how teachers help them study better, right? I hope you now get the idea of how to use these these video asset types as well, right? Okay, let's move ahead. This is an interesting format called carousel ad. Carousel ad essentially has multiple static images next to each other. So the first one talks about, in this case, lead ensures all-round growth of school, and then it talks lead gives you international standard learning, so on and so forth. Right? So if you have a school where you want to talk about three, four things at the same time, how will you do that? Carousel gives you that opportunity. You can't make a video. Video is pretty intense. You need to have a good camera. No problem. Make a video. Make a carousel with three, four images, and then um, we can actually run these ads. Okay, Shalini, let's move ahead. The next part comes to placements. Now we've created a good video, or we've created a good carousel, or we have a good static image. Next part is where to show the ads, right? So you have multiple placement, feed, stories, in stream, In streaming, when someone is watching a video. Stories is when you go to the top and see the stories. Feed ads are when you are scrolling and you actually see the ad, right? There are different types of ad placements. You might want to think, where should I run my ad, right? So at start, you can tell Facebook, listen, you run wherever you think it's best to run, and after some time I will change and I will reduce or increase where I if I want to run on stories or on feed, right? So Facebook gives you that flexibility because of its own intelligence where you will get the best results. Okay, let's move ahead. uh, you can see your ads in some search results, audience network, etc. Audience network, as much as possible you should say no when you start. Keep this in mind. First, there is enough opportunity when you are running ads on Instagram and Facebook to get business. Avoid taking audience network. I will show you how to actually do that while we set up the campaign. Next slide, please. Uh, I believe you all understood the feed ad, which is when you scroll, you get the feed, and stories. I guess stories. We all spend time watching stories. Right. So next one, reels. Again, we love watching reels, and that's where you can also place ads. It's a very good way for to build a good storytelling and get a lot of engagement from customers, right? And explore ads. When you go to the search screen and you want to just see what should I see, you Facebook allows you to reach out at that point in time. It's a very good place because people are actually saying, "Hey, show me something nice," and you say, "Hey, you know what? There's a great school near you. Why did you come and check it out?" So that's the format of using Explore apps, right? And the other key part. Now we have figured where to show them, what you want to show. Next part is how do you target your audience? Now this can get pretty complex and pretty technically heavy. So broadly, there is a core audience. Core audience means you target age. Sorry, target people with a certain age, or you target people with certain gender, or you target people with certain interests. That means they might have children, or they might be well off, or they might have a car, or they might have interest in parenting, or they might have interest in a whole bunch of other factors. And I'll show you how to see all of that, right? And I'm pretty certain you want to look at that very soon. So I'll quickly go over these slides. Shalini, you can move to the next one. So how to target the parents? I'll show you how to do this. In fact, so we can skip through this. This screen, this PPT, you can keep with you so that you can do it yourself. And we go over this quickly. So there are certain steps that you need to follow. Select parents, select all, and then we actually come to the place we actually create a meta ad, right? So for this part, Shalini, I'll take over. I'll start sharing my entire screen. Just give me a thumbs up or heads up when this is, you can actually see my screen.
Yeah, your screen is
All right.
visible.
Broadly, you should log into your Facebook page. Uh, you see some of the ads that I am getting served, which is a Taboola ad. It reads sponsored. This is a feed ad which is coming to me. Okay. So how to now navigate to your page or the pages that you operate, which is here, right? And I've made a dummy page. It's not actually a real page, but uh, I hope you understand. For the sake of discussion, I'm going to show this. Right? There's no content, anything. But if this were my school page or this were your school page, you would see something like this. Here, you can go to Ad Center to create ads. If you want to just directly create ad, you can just go to Create Ad. Right? And I'm going to click on Create Ad, and the page loads where I uh, get to get to now start creating the ads. Okay. Um, you see at the top it talks about create ad. You will see something similar, something similar. We spoke about goal. We spoke about creative. We spoke about all the different things will come up here, right? So let us take each one of this one by one. And when you do it yourself, you will be able to relate to what I'm talking about. First, by default, Meta will give you an automatic goal, right? So let's change it. We said that we want to get customer base. We want to collect information of potential parents. So come in and select four customer base as your goal. You could select others also if you want to take people to your website. For example, if you have a good website of your school, you could select take get more website visitors. Right, so that's absolutely fine. You could, if you want more traffic to your Facebook page, you can just say get more visits. People are likely to visit your page. That also is perfectly fine. But for the sake of this discussion, we have just taken let's collect information, which means it will be a lead form or form which will get generated. We will capture lead information. So I've selected goal. This will tell me a form is required, and I'll show you how to make that. Now, right on the side, you start seeing how the ad will look, right? So this is description. Remember, I showed you in the lead ad. This is the description which goes here. So you can write what text that comes to your mind. And see the school in your vicinity. So as I type, the content sort of gets generated and updated here, right? Now, shows me one simple, right? Now, how can I make this creative look better? This is where add, add asset or the creative comes into picture. So I have to select media. Select media means select an asset. So let's select I want to create a carousel ad. So I will just select this. I will select this. I will select. I have uploaded some images handy, but you can keep the ones that are relevant to your school handy. किसी ने मैंने there was another one which I was using earlier, so you can see that one also. So I have taken these three, right? Remember when we take multiple creatives, it becomes a carousel. And now you see from a very ordinary looking ad earlier, within few minutes, you made a good looking carousel ad. I can create different cards. These are called cards. We talk about one aspect each of my website or of my school, right? So I can write different headlines. Suppose this card we talked about get the best, get the latest uh, curriculum. I'm sorry, my English is very bad. If आप में से कोई is an English teacher, please pardon my spelling if it is wrong. Um, Teachers, uh, well trained and experienced teachers. Okay, it only allows me well trained teachers. Well trained teachers, right? And so on and so on. So you can see this gets updated automatically. Apply now. If I want to change apply now to something else, it tells me what else can I apply now. I can make it learn more. So it'll automatically update here to learn more. Right. Now I have made this ad. The idea is to get the phone number and personal information so that I can reach out to them. This is where I need to create a form. Form essentially asks questions, right? Now, because Meta has so much information about you, some of the information can get filled, which means uh, you can your name, phone number, and email automatically get filled. Now, in spite of this, you would want to say, okay, I want to ask something else. Uh, for example, I want to ask what standard is your child seeking admission in? I can put that. What class are you seeking admission for? Right? Um, and and this becomes your answer. You can get someone to write the answer here. Right? You can. So this makes it fairly easy form to create. You can explore this, you can create more forms. that you want. Next is who do you want to target, which is the audience, right? Who do you want to reach out? This is where if you go into this pencil here, you will see, sorry, you will see uh, how do you want to target? You want to target all, you want to target men, or you want to target women, right? It could be your choice. Suppose you want to target within a certain age bracket, select the age bracket that you think is the best for them. Keep in mind, if you just make this very young teen, 20, 23-year old, if you think they are not the parent whose child might be of a certain age, then you will just end up spending unnecessarily. So be a little careful. This is where it becomes very interesting. You want to type and you want to target at sharp places, right? So give me one or two names where you are from. Shalini, if you can read out some area, let's see if that is available.
Sure,
Um,
sure. So, for example, we have the principal of St. Xavier's High School from Balrampur, UP.
Balram, Balram. Yeah, you see Balrampur, Uttar Pradesh is there. So you can then say around is what you want
Then,
your ad
yeah, then we
to
have
run.
Nagpur.
Let's see, Nagpur. I just going to put all the names, but doesn't mean you will put all the names in one place. But for each school, we can put Nagpur. Now within Nagpur, if you have a certain specific region, uh, we can put that, right?
Okay.
So any other name? One more.
Yeah, so someone has just typed in the chat window, Lakhipur, Lakhipur.
Lucky. Where is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Assam?
Yeah,
Yeah. There
yeah.
you go. So Lakshipur Assam से जो है, you can also target ads um, around your vicinity. Now suppose by default this takes 40 kilometers. You want to reduce it to smaller range, you can do that. Keep in mind, the smaller you put, you think I just want in that region, ideally, of course. But that also means you reduce the number of people that you can reach. Keep that trade-off in mind whenever you do that. Now, this part is about age, demographic or age and location. But you also want some more relevant information. Now, what is that? For example, I want to reach to parents, right? So let's see what information I have here. Okay, education, financial, life event, right? Uh, so within life events, you will see a whole bunch of sub demographics where you will actually find parents and you can say all parents. And if you open that further, this is a gold mine, guys. And I think if you can use this, you will be most benefited, right? You can have parents with preschoolers, you can have parents with preteens. You remember I was talking about if you can target parents with the right age of their children. That's what you need. Now we can select depending on what grades your school offers. You can select kind of parents, and that's it. Have parents who are exactly searching for your school, or you want to reach out in the location that your school operates in, or the age group that your school serves. That's it. Once you do this, save this audience. Sorry, excuse me. And final part, how much do you want to spend on it, right? So it constantly updates how much money you want to put. Suppose you say you want to put 500 odd people, 500 um, money per 500 rupees per day, right? So here it gives you certain estimated daily result. It will tell you your ad will be shown to almost 2,500 to 13,000 people daily. That doesn't mean every day you will get those many inquiries, right? A very small fraction of them will actually convert. Now, how many will convert, how many will fill the form is all a function of how good is your creative, right? So you make your website, you ads engaging, give the right input, give give compelling information, talk how your school is different and better than others, or why is it relevant for the parent to come to your school. Make that reason compelling, and all you need to do then is publish, make the payment, of course. No one runs ads for free. Make the payment, publish your ads. Should go for an approval process. Facebook will make sure that you don't run any random ad. So make sure your photo quality is good. Don't take a selfie from front camera and say this is my school. Take a good quality from your back camera, high pixel image, so that people who are viewing it actually can benefit from it. Now, once you publish this, it takes a few hours for campaigns to get approved from Meta's end. And then your next natural question would be, okay, now where do I see my leads? Because I'm running this to get my leads. So come back to your page uh, where you have all your access to your pages. Click here on Meta Business Suite. All the journey we have already put in the PPT, so you don't have to worry about okay, where do I go again? And once you come to this, uh, just click on all tools and just search for form. You will see something known as instant forms. And once you click on it, the form that we created this form while speaking. So you see this, you will see all the leads. When you can download this button, you will get all the leads and with their information. Right? I haven't made this lead active and there's no real information, which is why I won't see any information. But that's what you will get to see in a nutshell. I'll stop the presentation and we'll come back to Shalini's presentation. Over back to you, Shalini.
Sure, just give me a moment.
While I see some questions, Janmijay ji is scheduling my ads. Will it help me get more results? Well, scheduling a help ad, of course, is better from making sure people, when they're interested, they will see. Um, but it also has impact. It can impact the costs that will go up. So keep this in mind as a general rule. The more narrow you keep in any form, whether by time, whether by age, whether by radius, whether by interest, the narrow you keep, costs are likely to go up. But will you get better results? Yes. Will you get lesser leads who are less interested? Yes. So there's always a cost value trade-off. I'll take some of these questions. Uh, please take this question. Friends in my area often consume more YouTube even than Meta. Is it good place to go on Google Ads or shall I stick to Meta Ads? Now understand this. Um, when someone is viewing YouTube, one is going pretty much there for entertainment or maybe listening in parallel. You put the music on or you listen in parallel. When you are on Meta platforms, the level of engagement is much higher. Right? So if you want to just stay on top of everyone's mind, of course, YouTube is a great platform. If you want to stay on top, stay where they're engaged and be where their eyeballs and mindshare is, I would recommend Meta. But it's always good to try both and see what works. So if you have 100 rupees to spend, don't put all 100 on platform one on day one, right? You start with 10 rupees, split it between one or two options and see which one works better and then spend the remaining 90. Okay. Um, I have a few questions which I'll take. I'll just complete the couple of minutes on reporting and then I'll take questions. Shall you can just go to the next slide, please? The reporting section. So you've made all the ads, we've looked the forms, we've got the forms. Finally, you want to see all of that. How much have I spent? What leads do I get in one place, right? So this is the place within reports. Um, how to get there is there in the PPT. But broadly, you should know that you will come to know on this campaign, on this day, I spent so much leads I got. Okay. Just you can select the date and time that you want to know exactly how much did I spend at this time and how much did I get on uh, what leads did I get? You can move to the next slide, Charlie. You can compare between two time windows. That is also possible, so that if you created some campaign or a creative for first week and you had a different creative for the second week, you want to see compare the difference, you can compare it, or you can just look at the reports, and this is how you download the report. Keep two or three guiding principles in mind. First, I said the narrower you get, costs will go up, volume will reduce, but quality will improve. So अगर आपको quality चाहिए तो आप narrow रखो, but then you will not get a huge volume, and the other way around. Two, कभी भी एक creative से काम नहीं चलेगा. You will and you must get at least 3 to 5 variations of creatives. अलग अलग चीज के बारे में बात करो. आपके स्कूल में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं which are unique. Your students, your teachers, you yourself, your facilities, your infrastructure, your books, your curriculum. At least ये 6 चीज तो मैंने अभी गिना ली. So you should be able to use this in your creative assets. So always keep a different set and a refreshing set of creatives. So every 3 to 4 weeks, put new set of creatives. Right. Those are three guiding principles. And we can pause now, and I can take a look at some of the questions that we have.
Yes,
Is that
and just
fine?
before we do that, Vivek, we have a poll that
Sure.
we'd like to serve our audience. Simply to understand from everybody, how comfortable are we all feeling about running campaigns on Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
Rohit, if you could serve the poll. Great. I'm actually happy that people are saying they need more assistance. This basically means we need you to ask us more questions that Vivek can help answer. He's here to help us to build the school brands that we want to attract more parents, to attract more students, to grow admissions, to better engage with parents nearby, like he showed us how to. So, Vivek, you can see 50% moderately confident,
That's
27% saying
phenomenal.
still need more. Yes, that is an absolutely awesome number to be able to share. But a lot of questions, I think, are still coming in.
Sure. I'll take
And
those.
let's go back to the questions now.
All right. Uh, so the next question was, parents in very often consume. Okay, I've seen that. Is the strategy also helpful for small preschool which has just started and only 50 kids in a rural area? So again, the answer to this is digital can come in if there are people in that vicinity who can be reached. Now, I don't exactly know the vicinity that this gentleman is in or ma'am is in, but see, अगर लोग नहीं हैं, if people are not there around you, your ads will not be seen by them. So always in digital, the best option is try it. Don't spend all your 100 rupees. Spend about 5 to 10% of your budget. Test it. You see some response, then increase it. How to avoid restrictions in Meta accounts is the next question from uh, Vikalapa Puram ji. How to avoid restrictions in Meta ad accounts? Well, ad accounts businesses tend to get restricted by Meta if they see certain uh, unnatural or unexpected behavior. So if you suddenly start spending 1 lakh, or a lot of people complain about you, about your ads, not about you, I'm sorry, about your ads that you're running, or you people are your ads or ad creatives is not as per the guidelines. You're not communicating sufficiently, adequately, clearly. There are a few publishing guidelines which they have. Those are the cases where you're likely to get blocked by Meta, as it called. Um, so Amrit Kanji saying that my account is blocked to pay ads in Facebook. How to active ad account? This ad account blocking has a lot of reasons why it got blocked in the first place. Can't really tell you why it got blocked in the first place. Um, Generally, you can appeal to try creating another account or a fresh account which is not associated with the earlier account are my two inputs. Cool. Any other questions?
Anyone has any question? Vivek is here for the next few minutes. Happy to answer any questions you might have with regards to marketing and building your school brand. I don't think I'm just
I
going to
see one. What is the ideal funnel for lead generation? What are the content topics for awareness, consideration, and conversation? So the ideal funnel is you create interest. How do you create interest? You talk about how your school is unique. This applies not just for schools, it applies for everything, including us as human beings and also our schools. So, every school is unique. The students are unique, teachers are unique, the results might be different, achievements will be different. Talk about that. Um, it says a marketing funnel. So, a marketing funnel has many interpretations, but when you talk about top of funnel, talk about things how your school is different, how is it unique, uh, in the top of the funnel. In the bottom of the funnel, you can talk about the results that you are generating, right? Talk about how your students are achieving academic strength, how your teachers are receiving awards, how your school is winning at different competitions, right? If you have that kind of exposure. And when you have this as the bottom of the funnel strategy, parents are likely to feel, yes, I would also want my child to get benefit of this. Right. So that would be my two prong, top of the funnel and bottom funnel strategy.
Vivek, we also have a question. Thank you, sir, for this much needed session. The feeling's mutual. He'd like to ask, in rural areas, lead campaigns are often not successful as parents don't know how to fill lead forms. So is it better to use engagement campaigns?
So see, lead forms, the way to use in rural areas, many times we end up using the same English language or a standard language for everyone. Now, first things, if you have done talking to them in the native language, and in spite of that, they are not successful, try finding out, add one or two more questions in the form. That way, before they submit the form, they have to answer one or two relevant questions. That means you know that the person has shown an interest and taken an effort to fill that form. Than just making it three autofill questions where people don't remember. I also don't remember half the times we fill forms. So someone else doing it by the side also will not. So regional native language and asking some active involvement questions is my input to you.
We actually had a question that I'm not sure if we've already addressed, but I don't want
Yeah,
to miss any questions.
sure.
Does scheduling my ads say active times only? For example,
I
6
mentioned
a.m.
that.
to
Yeah.
you've already handled that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. All right. If anyone has any more questions, we're just going to take a couple more questions and then,
Sure.
we'll wind down this webinar. Please add your questions in the chat window. We do have a question actually. We know that stakeholders do not have the patience to visit the school website. And we also know that screen time for any activity is not more than 7 seconds. Wow, I didn't know that. How to lure people in general and stakeholders in particular in the shortest, I'm assuming, most effective possible way.
This comes from someone who is extremely informed or well informed, I must say,
Yeah.
and a very well articulated question. So whoever has asked, जिसने भी पूछा है, you can pat yourself on the back. Um, okay, so they do not have patience to visit website. Of course, yes. Um, so what do you do? Which is why Meta and bunch of other platforms have created formats where you make the effort of giving the information very easy. So point one. Two, what do you do on a website? You have different sections that you can talk about, right? So how do you bring that to your creative communication? Either use a video, Yes, 7 seconds is where people start skipping the ad. How can you put a catch a communication for more than 7 seconds, or within the first 7 seconds, right? Think about it. We've been on this workshop or on this Zoom call for almost 47 minutes now, and a lot of you have been super engaged. So if there's a common connection on how to what you want versus what you're giving is meeting, then there is attention, right? So the often it is about how you present it than just what you presented. And in spite of that, if the attention span doesn't last, maybe the parent isn't terribly excited. You have to keep on repeating that message. So it's not going to happen that you show the ad once and the person says, yes, this is what I want, and the deal is done. Nada. You will have to be patient. You will have to have seasonality to factor it in. You will also have to understand they're all human beings like you and me. We also do 50 things. I'm sure a lot of us, while we are looking and interested in running Facebook ads, we're also looking at our phones and doing 50 other things, right? So we have to give that time. This is bound to happen. Attention spans are low. Try and improve the communication style. Try and differentiate. Talk something which is unique. And those are my three inputs to you. But very good question.
Completely agree. And I think that's just about the last question that we have time for. Um, Give me just a moment, please.
Sure.
So before we say one final thank you to Vivek for joining us today, I'd like to introduce Lead Group to everyone who's joined us today for the webinar. In case this is the first time you're hearing about Lead Group, we are India's largest school edtech company. We are more than 12 years old now. And in terms of where we are, how many schools we're working with, the numbers are on the screen. But as of now, we're working with 8,000 plus schools. We're improving learning outcomes for more than 35 lakh students in many, many different ways that I'll come to. Right. I just wanted to introduce our audience to a product that we've launched recently, a product that's been highly appreciated by school owners across the country. PinnacleCode.ai is our coding and AI program, and it's unique in many different ways. First of all, it's the only project-based coding program for schools. So as you can see, we offer your students 18 projects in total, 9 guided projects and 9 independent projects that your students can do independently. It's the only coding program with a built-in platform that we're calling Builder. So all your students have access to all the software that they need to actually write code. You know, the best way for a child to learn coding is not by reading about it, it's by actually writing code and doing projects and creating things like apps or websites. And of course it's on the cloud as well, so students can access anytime, anywhere. Your teachers can see the kind of projects their students are doing. So it's a great like a 360 view for a 360-degree view for teachers to get a sense of where your students are at. As I mentioned, 8,000 schools across 400 towns, cities. Anything that we can do to help you to either improve learning outcomes or to grow your school, to help with admissions, I'd request the audience to please take a screenshot of the numbers on your screen right now. Give us a call and we're more than happy, or you could email us. We're more than happy to address any questions you might have. Thank you, Vivek, for leading this really, really insightful session. I'm actually amazed by both how much information I learned today and also some of the questions, like you said, they're coming from people who've clearly tried different ways and means to market their schools via Facebook. If you want us to take up new topics in future webinars, My colleague Rohit will add a survey or a feedback form on the chat window in a bit. Please do fill up that feedback form, and we're happy to take up webinar topics that you want us to take up. Thank you so much for attending. Thanks, Vivek.
Thank you so much, Shalini. Lovely chatting with all of you. Hope to see you sometime again soon on similar webinar.
Thanks. Bye.